The stress of like the money
is incredibly stressful.
Stress
definitely adds to the stress.
Stressing.
The stress of it.
Very stressful.
A prison where you're like, just paying like thousands and thousands of dollars and just slaving away just to pay off that money, I think.
You're always 1 month away from being homeless. Like if a terrible accident happens to you or something that you can't afford, that does really stick with me.
We're basically all just digging deeper into debt, using like student loans, lines of credit, and everything like that.
You have to use all your extra mental energy trying to figure out, oh, how can I scrimp together, $30 this week and $30 next week? Oh, what am I gonna do if I can't make rent?
It's just incredibly stressful to be worried about basic things like food all of the time, on top of everything else. Like when you're buying one box of toaster waffles every 2 weeks and being like, sure, a toaster waffle counts as a meal, that's fine. And so then you have people going to class on like 200 calories a day trying to function, and so there's obviously like a huge negative effect on your mental and physical health.
There are even places where students are homeless. And so that's a thing. You travel all this way and you have your tuition covered, but it's like I can't afford to eat anything other than peanut butter. So that seems highly ironic to me.
Yeah, we were having a difficult time, getting our rent in and, purchasing healthy food. And so that is something that has definitely affected my life. As being a student means that someone else in my life has to hold back on their dreams because I can't contribute right now.
In my undergrad, I did watch a lot of people get affected by the financial burdens of paying for education. I did have a friend actually who lost their job and then subsequently tried to commit suicide, and they did not commit suicide, thank God, but obviously like extreme financial pressure and paying for education while having to hold down part-time jobs is just, I think, something that's really unfeasible for a lot of people and not fair.
Not having the time or financial ability to dedicate anything really to my health or the health of my friends, which, given the state of things, has been deteriorating rather rapidly. Yeah, it's been a scary time for me and for a lot of the people that I care about.
Universal basic income is a really good idea. It's not something that I've heard before, but I think knowing that something is covered is very nice, especially if the government is able to help and invest in that social safety net and invest in the next generation. I think that it sets up for a better economy because people will be more likely to maybe stay in the province that they studied in, and it won't have this big gradient that we see when we look across our country. If I know that I will get support from being in the place that I want to be in, I'm more likely to stay. I'm more likely to invest time in that economy and stuff like that because I know that the government is able to help me in that way.
Universal basic income, it would just take like the major stressors off of students, because students were mostly all right with school stuff, like the essays and the readings. It's really not that overwhelming, and there are lots of support systems built into school to help with those things specifically. Like your profs are always there to guide you through the material, and generally people are on your side, but you can't just go up to your prof after class and ask them if they'll buy you lunch because you haven't eaten in 3 days.
I have other friends who, you kind of have to decide where you're going to make the cuts, so they will not buy textbooks. That's where they draw the line, and so they are behind their classmates who can afford textbooks and who can, who don't need jobs, who can study all the time. These people work 2 jobs and they can't afford textbooks. They live in not great housing, it's hard to get to school. So yeah, I would love something that would kind of equalize that for students a bit.
At the basic level, you're a person, you deserve to have your lowest needs met.